Today on Joe's Geek Show, I'm giving you my 5 comic books to read for Halloween. What's going on, and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And if there's anything I like about as much as comics, it's Halloween. Because this is one time a year where we can dress up as our favorite characters, go out, get candy, watch tons of horror movies, and of course, read tons of horror comics. So before we get into this list, I just wanted to say that this list isn't really in any specific order. This is not a best to worst kind of list. These are just comics I've read over the last year that I kept thinking would be a pretty good read for people on Halloween or just for the Halloween season. And don't forget to stick around as I have the #1 book being introduced by a special guest. And up first is Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's We Have Demons. And this book is about a girl named Lam Cullen who is estranged from her father until she gets a call from her stepmom saying, "Your dad is dead, please come home." And as soon as she does, she is thrust into a world of insanity as she comes to find out that her father was one of the world's best demon hunters. And of course, she even gets to meet his old partner, Gus, who is also a freaking demon. And this book basically has it all. It's got action, it's got violence, it's got gore, it's got lots of cursing, and it's definitely everything I look for in a horror comic. And coming in the #4 spot is Joe Hill and Stuart Imonin's Plunge. And this book is part of the Joe Hill branded Hill House Comics under the DC Black label, under DC Comics. Whew, wow, that's a mouthful and a lot of labels. But back on track, this book is about a salvage team that is hired by an oil company to, well, salvage a ship that went missing in 1983. And at first it just seems like a routine salvage mission until they realize that the crew is very much still around the ship. And this is effectively an on-the-sea / underwater horror type book, which I have a particular affinity for. Like, I like the movie Leviathan, I like the movie Deep Star 6. And so the creatures of the deep in this book do not disappoint whatsoever. And this book also has one of the most interesting atmospheres, as I feel isolated and alone alongside this crew. And even as it says on the back of the book, is effectively a love letter to 80s horror. So for all you 80s horror fans out there, this book might be for you. Coming in the #3 spot, just for a little superhero flavor in there, we've got Tom Taylor's Deceased. And what else can I say about this book except DC superheroes, zombies, let's go. But just for a point of reference, this book is effectively about an anti-life equation zombie virus of sorts that gets released on Earth, and if you look at your computer screen, a phone, or anything of technology that is connected to the internet, you too will become a zombie. So it's not long before our favorite DC characters are getting infected and have to battle each other, of which, who will survive? It's got twists, it's got turns, and at the time of its release, it was definitely a book that caught me off guard with just how entertaining and good a zombie superhero story can be. So if you need your zombie fix but would also like some superheroes involved, this is a good one. Coming in at #2 is Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino's Gideon Falls. So Gideon Falls is about a priest who is assigned to the town of Gideon Falls after the mysterious death of the previous pastor, Pastor Tom. And it's not long before things go crazy and out of whack, and the question begins of, what is the Black Barn? And this is definitely one of those books that I want to be very careful what I say next, because it is a very interesting, and I do mean interesting, read, and I just don't want to spoil too much. So yeah, Gideon Falls, check it. And for the #1 spot, I actually brought in a very special guest to introduce it because I just like the way he talks about this book. So please give it up for my good pal Nerdscum as he introduces us to Frost.
Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood Nerdscum here to lead you into the world of carnage, the world of chaos, the world of the Crossed. Crossed is a multi-title comic franchise published by Avatar Press, created by Garth Ennis and Jensen Burrows, beginning with Crossed number 0. The franchise follows various groups of survivors of a pandemic which causes its victims to act out their most horrific and grotesque impulses. This contagion is primarily spread through fluid exchange or contact such as bites, vomiting, other bodily waste, and sexual assault, provided the victim actually lives for the short amount of time that it takes for the virus to incubate. Due to the virus manifesting as a cross or plus-shaped rash across the face of the infected, they're generally referred to as crossed, plus faces, or cross-faced. After infection, the victim's behavior becomes rabid and extreme, however they retain their basic intelligence, which makes them capable of using complex tools such as firearms or vehicles as well as acting strategically. This makes the cross unpredictably deadly, enabling them and their contagion to spread, maiming, killing, raping, and cannibalizing across the entire world. Defenses, cities, and civilizations fell in short order. In this world, there is no cure, there is no hope, no heroes, there is only the Cross. Crossed is truly one of the most horrifically intense and gory books that is out there. It is something that is truly unique and has to be experienced, but only for those true horror hounds, those with true grit and with no limits. And with around 20 volumes of material, there's definitely something there for those people, and way more than I could go to in this segment here. But if you'd like to hear more, then definitely check me out, where I cover many Cross stories, and check out this link to my top 3 picks for the best Cross stories.
And I would like to thank you, Nerdscum, for introducing this book, because I have read 1 or 2 Cross books in my day. We actually did a video together on Crossed Family Values, and let me just say, that's a line I no longer want to cross. Hey, I love horror, but even I got my limits. So, for the most extreme gorehounds out there, Crossed might be for you. Well, there you have it, the top 5 books to read on Halloween. Which books of these catch your interest? Which books of these have you read? Did you like any of them? Please tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And, of course, happy Halloween. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with some friends, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. And if you're wondering what to watch next, consider one of these 2 videos. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky.